We started this about 8 years ago. And when we started this, there was just a handful of teams. We got over 2,000 members now that fish with ASABFA. These are very expensive tournaments to put on. With sponsors like Go Build, this is what makes this possible. A tournament trail normally pays out cash prizes. We pay out scholarships. And Go Build and companies like that is what makes that possible.
The mission of Go Build Alabama is to educate young people, parents, and others into the great careers that are available in the commercial and industrial construction industry, and then to inspire them to move forward and start their own construction career path. These are not jobs that will export out of the country. So this is a magnificent time for young people and others that might be considering career change to think about construction careers.
Back when I got into fishing pro stuff, there wasn't anything like this. So sponsoring things like this, you're really pushing those kids to do more.
At Go Build Alabama, we really are excited about this sponsorship because this gives us an opportunity to talk to students, support them in one of their extracurricular activities, and help inspire them to maybe consider a career in the construction industry.
You know exactly where you want to be. On the water with your best friend. You two out there just casting and catching. Out on the water is a great place to make memories that'll last. But we can't help it if your kid's a better fisherman. Visit Freedom Marine Center, Highway 431 in Albertville, and freedommarincenter.net.
Take it from me. When it came to my dreams, I knew that being hands-on would take me places college never could.
Take it from me. When it came to my career, I was floating from job to job, never finding my calling.
Take it from me. When it comes to what's next, joining the trades will take you further than you ever thought.
Take it from us and find your future at GoBuildAL.com. Be more. Go Build. Take it from me. When it came to my dreams, I knew that being hands-on would take me places college never could, and joining the trades took me further than I ever thought. Find your future at GoBuildAL.com. Be hands-on. Go Build.
When considering Maslow's hierarchy of needs, one must first figure the basic level of. So essentially what Maslow is saying is that from the basic level, what are we doing here?
Look at that beauty right there.
Shelter in warmth. Oh!
Let's get loud for that fish right there.
Well, let's not forget that we'll be discussing
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
Good evening. I'm Barry Corbin with ASABFA. Glad to have you guys join us tonight. Getting ready for our pre-tournament meeting here for Logan Martin. Looking forward to that, coming out of Lincoln Landing. So we'll get started here tonight with a word of prayer, and then we'll go ahead and start our presentation. Joining me tonight, we've got Mike Ford and Josh Williams. So glad to have them on board, and they'll be chiming in here in just a little bit. So let's bow for a word of prayer. Father, we thank you for this time and the time that you give us together. We thank you for this organization that gives these young people an opportunity to get out there and enjoy your great outdoors. We thank you for the many blessings you provide for us here in the state of Alabama. And we thank you so much for your grace that you give to us through your salvation. In thy holy name we pray. Amen. Great. Let me go ahead and bring my slide presentation up here. If I can click this button, we'll get things going. All right. So we'll be at Lincoln, Alabama this year for our Logan Martin tournament. Very nice facilities. They've done a tremendous job and are still in the process of finishing things up, but they've got a great facility there. Very glad to have them, as one of our tournament stops. We've got Les Robinson with the city of Lincoln. He's the director at Lincoln's Landing. So he's been hosting with us, been working with us for a while. Very glad to have him. If you're looking for a tournament time, Les would be your main contact there to get there at Lincoln's Landing. That would be the place to go. Well, if I can get there we go. A couple things, as always, we'll be on Facebook Live during the blast off in the morning, the 1 o'clock weigh-in for the junior division, 2 o'clock for the senior division, and we will be immediately afterwards doing our scholarship presentation as we're calculating the results. So seniors that have won scholarships, we'll be letting you know that here in just a minute, but all of those will be on Facebook Live, so we would encourage you to invite your family and friends to go on that. You can watch the Phoenix boat leaderboard to pick up where our top roughly 15 are showing. If you're not on Facebook, you can join us as you did tonight from our website on the ASABFA.com webpage. So please contact them, your family and friends, let them know where we are. And then if you've got any questions tonight, we'd like to remind you that you can type it in on Facebook Live. Josh is monitoring that. And if you're on the website or would prefer to text, you can text me at the ASABFA phone at 334-300-2985. 334-300-2985. So very pleased to announce our scholarship winners for this year. The 2022 senior scholarship winners, sponsored by Phoenix Boats, Go Build Alabama, Ballman Metal, and Coosa Cotton. So in no order, they're just in alphabetical order right here. So you'll be surprised on Saturday when you find out what you got. But Kai Barnett is one of our winners. Kaylee Cates, Mason Hill, Jackson Hutto, Raleigh Johnson. And in addition to those, we've got Denton Keller, Daniel Martin, Corey Phillips, Braden Pritchard, and Ben Sharinkas. And I'm sure I butchered that. I'm sorry, Ben. I just do what I can. I'm sorry, but I probably butchered that. But congratulations to you guys as winners of the 2022 senior scholarships. Very looking forward to it. If you are fishing this tournament, after we come off the water, you'll have a chance to come up and we'll present the scholarships. Those that are not fishing in this particular tournament, we would like to invite you up, you and your family, to come up, and we'll do the presentation and have that for you. And if you've not already had your senior award, we'll give you a certificate so that you can take back to your school during your senior award time frame and have that presented to you at the school. If available and you would like to have me or some of our staff there at your awards to present, I'd be more than happy to do that. And depending on the availability of who is around and your district director, they would probably very much enjoy that opportunity as well. Coaches, next up there, we've got our pickup packets will be at Lincoln Landing Tournament Fishing Park. That's where we'll be blasting off. there in the city of Lincoln. It's pretty close to the hotels and such as that. The address is 740 Travis Drive, Lincoln, Alabama, 35096. So that's where we'll be picking up. That's also where we'll be launching and doing our weigh-in at. Coach, if you'll pick up your packets or have your designee there, please have someone responsible for that task. Adding a line right here, make sure they know who is fishing in each boat. We've had some confusion. Well, I'm picking up the packet, but I don't know anything. And we've even had some that didn't even know who the anglers were. So make sure that you brief them ahead of time if you're not picking them up yourself. It is extremely important that we get you there on that Friday night to pick up the packets so we can correct any errors that may be in place. On our last tournament, we're already to blast off, and we still got one team that hadn't picked up their packets, trying to figure out where they're supposed to launch at because there was an error on there. So it's very important that we get you or somebody there on Friday night and make sure we get them picked up, and make sure we can check for errors, make any corrections that may have come about from sickness or for whatever reason. We can get those corrected at that point in time. This time we will have, there is a launch fee at the Lincoln Landing there. We would encourage you to prepay the launch fee when you're picking up your team packet. Per boat, it is $5 per boat. So what we would like to do, if you've got both juniors and seniors, we'll collect for both groups at that point in time. If you can work that out to get that paid during that time frame, when you get there in the next morning, you'll be able to go ahead and launch, and we'll not be holding up traffic lines as we're trying to get it paid. So very much encourage you to try to get with your folks, get it prepaid if at all possible, and make sure that we can speed that process up along in that morning. What we're planning on doing is have a total number of boats per team on your packet, so we'll know how many to be collecting for. And again, if you can collect that if need be, or sometimes the teams pay for it themselves, that'd be a great opportunity if we could get all that paid up, and then we'll turn it into Lincoln Landing folks that morning, Saturday morning. Also, coaches, please cover your rules, regulations of the tournament prior to the tournament, and make sure everybody's on board. We've had a couple questions come up in the last two tournaments. You must have 3 people in the boat, just as a reminder. So one angler and observer, or you can have what you should have is 2 anglers and a boat captain. But should an angler drop out, you can put an observer in. And in addition to that rule, you may only have 1 observer per tournament. Now that would be for the senior division and junior if need be on that. So please keep that in mind. Don't want to see upset folks when they get there, find out they can't fish because they don't have the people in line. Josh, I think this is your slide. I don't see my number, but I think it's you now.
Okay. Before I get started, we do have a couple questions I'll go ahead and address. So as a reminder, if you have questions as we go through, drop those in the comment section if you're on Facebook, and I'll get your questions answered. If you're watching on the website, you can text the ASABFA phone that Barry gave the phone number out for. So a couple things on the packet pickup. The time will be from 5:30 till 6. So we'll be there at Lincoln Landing there starting at 5:30. So in that 30-minute time frame, try to have a representative from your team that is selected by the coach to come by and pick up that packet. And then some other questions were about the boat ramp fee to be paid. So ideally, we want you to pay as a team when you pick up your packet. So if we've got team A here that is going to pick up their packet and they have 5 boats that are going to be fishing with us, then when they pick up their packet, that representative will pay $25, which will cover all of the boats from that team for their ramp fee in the morning.
and we will collect that when you're picking up your packets. That way we don't have to worry about paying in the morning, have someone out there to slow up traffic. We want to get boats in as quickly as possible, especially as early as we're going to have to be in. And I think Mike will address that here in a little bit. So that's the two questions I've had so far. You should pay at the packet pickup for the entire team if possible, and the packets will be picked up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock at the landing. Going back to the presentation, starting to reveal some information for our Classic that will be held in June. So top teams will be determined by the Classic qualifier points. So after this week, we will have completed all of the Classic qualifiers. We will then be able to go through and tally all the scores and figure out exactly the breakdown of how many will be in each division that will make the state Classic tournament. So the field and the actual breakdown of numbers is subject to a small change. This is just an idea or a estimation here, but approximately going to have 70% of our senior division in the Classic will be from the 4 through 6, 7A division. So the large school division, that's going to be approximately 140 boats. 30% of it will come from the small school division, around 60 boats. And those numbers are based off of the percentage breakdown of how many of our members or schools are either a small private school or a larger division school. That's how we're coming up with those numbers. We'll round up kind of as needed so that we keep our numbers around 200 or slightly more for the senior division. If you are a junior division angler, then all of the teams that are in the junior division, if they have fished all of their assigned lakes, then they will qualify for the state Classic tournament as well. COVID-19, as we have done all year, done a really good job with that as far as we know. Just continue to monitor that. You know the symptoms of COVID-19 at this time, and we've got them listed there on the screen. If you're experiencing those symptoms, we ask that you don't spread that to everyone else so that we can continue to hold our tournaments in the fashion that we have this year. So a couple other questions as we're going to sponsors that's come in talking about pickup time. Can you pick up, packets outside of that designated time? We might be there just slightly before 5:30, but it's usually 5:20, 5:30 before we're there, have things set up and try to have them picked up at 6 there. So if you as a coach cannot get there, try to have one of your boat captains, anglers, anybody that represents your team can come by and pick up the packets, or we can arrange something with that. So you can get with us if we've got need to make arrangements for the packet pickup. We just prefer that you get them at some time on Friday, preferably at that time, so that we're not trying to deal with it on Saturday morning. Kind of the highlight of sponsors again, we spend a decent amount of time at the weigh-in and other times highlighting our sponsors because what we do would not be possible without them. As you know, we give out scholarships in each of the tournaments for those that place well up there at the top. And then we also, as we just announced tonight, give out a number of scholarships based off of applications that has nothing to do with tournament placings. So we appreciate these sponsors that allow us to give out prizes and awards as well as scholarships, and couldn't do it without them. You see a couple there at the top that was kind of been mentioned. Phoenix Boats, which is our title sponsor this year. Go Build Alabama, that's been with us for a while. Freedom Marine, which gives out our money for big fish and also places money there for boat captains that are fishing from a boat that is bought or repowered from Freedom Marine. Hammer Rods and Shimano both provide us with some great rods and gifts and prizes that we're able to give out in the weigh-in. Frog Togs, looking at the weather right now, you may need them if you're out pre-fishing some, depending on kind of how it changes, but we should be clear on Saturday. But official rain gear for ASABFA. Power Pro line, which has been for our 5 fish limit that we've given out before. And then with Tumpka Marine Electronics, which has come on board with us this year and does a great job on getting your boat set up with any electronic needs that you have. Big Bite Baits, which is our standard 5 fish alive sponsor to give out baits for those that catch a limit. Coosa Cotton helps with scholarships. They've got some great apparel and gear. E3 Sports, which many of you I know buy our jerseys through, and our staff has jerseys from them as well. Prime One Amphibia Eyewear, which also allows us to give out some prizes. Alabama Farm Credit, they were able to come out to our last tournament on Lake Pickwick and brought some prizes to give away. Ballman Metals, which is also a scholarship sponsor, in Brown's Outdoor Marine, which has helped a lot of you be on the water and fishing. They usually have their trailer there at tournaments to kind of keep you on the water if you need any help. A couple of rule reminders and changes in place for this year. Most of you know these at this point, being toward the end of the season, but as always, make sure that you've checked all of the official rules on our tournament for the tournament day on our website. That's where all the official rules and documents will be placed. Some changes this year with the no puncture coal system. 30-day rules down to 7 for getting outside help for your team. You're allowed to pre-fish, and then A-rigs are being allowed in tournament this year as well.
Josh, let me jump in just a second right there, because I get a couple questions here lately. We, with the ASABFA, do not have an off-water time set for pre-fishing. So you can fish as long as it's safe and got light out there and that kind of stuff, but we don't have a designated time that you have to be off the water on the Friday before, or, you know, depending on if it's the Classic, the day before those tournaments also. Right. But I've gotten that question asked here pretty good bit here lately.
All right, and so reminders, we're getting close to giving you some instructions for blast off. Being the last qualifier, all of you have fished multiple tournaments by now, so we're hoping that we don't have any boats that have to be pulled over for any violations. Our biggest one is life jackets, making sure that we have no inflatables or hybrids, and then the biggest one overall is that they are fastened to manufacturer guidelines. So please double and triple check that. We know it's not an intentional thing. We just want you double and triple checking each other for liability purposes. And I understand sometimes it's frustrating when I got everything but my top buckle buckled. But if one buckle's fine, then a second buckle is only one more, and then the third buckle is only one more than that. So we draw the line at the manufacturer's guidelines, which is everything must be buckled, zipped, and fastened. So anglers and boat captains help each other with that. Stay seated as you come through the blast-off line. Don't stand up to catch the peg. Please keep your hands inside the boat. We don't have to swing so close to the pier that we're worried about bouncing off of it. Curtis has got a pretty good track record on getting the pegs to you. We'll forgive him for the couple of mistakes this past tournament. Overall, he can get the pegs to you. So live wells open and running, lights on as well. As always, juniors will go out after the senior division. We'll start staggered weigh-in at 1. We've got a lot of junior boats in this tournament, probably more than we've had in the tournaments this year. So we'll have a little stagger there with them coming in, and then senior boats will start weighing in at 2 o'clock. All right, Mike.
All right, this is our map. This tournament right here. Our guy done a great job on our maps this year. As you can see, as you come in, there's plenty of parking. There's only one boat ramp for this tournament, so make sure you get there early. There will be a line. What they said, staging to the left of the ramp. You can check out this map right here at any time you need to. But like I said, you just need to be ready to go. We're gonna blast off a little earlier than we have been on this tournament. Daylight's getting there a lot earlier. Flip on over there. There we go. All right, boat staging to the left of the ramp. Be in the water, ready to launch by 5 o'clock. Blast off will be close to safe flight. I think this morning we could have blasted off around 5:30 here. So blast off's going to be a little early, so y'all make sure you're in the water. And as soon as blast off starts, we will close the ramp. So if you're in line and we start blast off and you ain't in the water, you'll have to wait until everybody's done before you can put your boat in the water. Off limits for this tournament, 100 yards from launch of the ramp and piers. All areas posted on the lake, if anything's posted on the lake, will be off limits. Length on this one, they're all 12 inches, so they don't have a 15 or anything like that on this one. So everything's got to be at least 12 inches long, and you only can have 5 fish. You got to start culling after that. Boat captains and anglers, be ready to launch when you are at the ramp. Prepare yourself while you're in line. Just make sure somebody's in the truck where they can keep pulling it up, and don't get a big lull in the line trying to get anglers in the boat and everything. Just keep everything moving. Anglers should be in the boat while in line, ready to get to the ramp. And as soon as your anglers get in there and get in the water, make sure they lower the big motor down for safety, and move away from the ramp with a trolling motor to make room for the next boat coming in behind you. Do not leave without returning your pegs to the checkpoint. My ladies will be out there on the left side of the dock area there, and their fluorescent yellow shirts on, vest, so you can't miss them. So you be looking for them as you come back in. Don't bring your pegs to the stage, because there will be a penalty, and we are enforcing them. All right, boat captains, boat check items. Boat numbers should be on the outer boat so we can see them as you come through the checkout line. Running lights on, daylight or not. See, you need the daytime, you got to have your lights on. I think Josh done said about PDF, no inflatable life jackets. That is for the anglers and the boat captains, including the hybrids. When you come through the line, make sure your kill switch is on. And all you got to do is show us as you come through. Just make sure you don't pull it out and kill your motor. Live well's on and running. Just get close enough. You ain't got to be right there on top of us, hitting the dock. We can see over in your boat. As long as we can see in your boat and see your live wells running, you should be good. All violators of the above rules will be off to the side, and we'll let you sit there until everybody gets gone, and then we'll blast you off one at a time. Like I said, he said life jackets. That's the most violations we've had all year. And this last tournament, Pickwick, believe it or not, was all boat captains. So anglers, check your boat captains. Make sure they got their life jacket on right before you come through that checkout line, and let's see if we can make this tournament without no violations. Make sure you keep your boat in gear as you come through. That way you ain't bottlenecking the ones up behind you. They're going to run over you. So just keep it in gear. All right, boat captains. Everybody should know these rules by now, but we'll go over them real quick. You can't handle the rods, reels, or the tackle. You can't fish. You cannot fish at all or demonstrate technician. You may help them only if they request. You can net the fish for them and run the trolling motor and give verbal instructions on how to do something. You just can't get out there and help them do it. And once they get all their fish in the boat, 5 fish in there, you can help cull. And after they land the fish, that 5th fish in the thing, you can help them cull. All right, safety first on the water. We had one at Pickwick. We didn't get started. We had boat problems. Done sunk one right off the bat. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Nobody was in it. So we're good there. Just make sure you got your plugs in there when you get in the water. If you have trouble on the water and it's an emergency, make sure you dial 911 and get help coming. And then you can call myself at 256-263-6895, or you can call Barry's phone at the ASABFA cell phone at 334-300-4225. 4437. Barry's number is 334-300-4437. Also, Towboat USA, Chad will be, hopefully he'll be around close by, or one of his guys. If we need a tow in, you could call them at 256-307-1313. That is 256-307-1313. And for memberships, you can also call him on that same number. Membership fees for $74 on new memberships, and renewals are $99.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Just to go a little bit further, just to make sure everybody remembers that during the morning, I'm going to be on Facebook Live. So calling me during the blast off, you're probably not going to have me pick up, but I will call you back just as quickly as possible. If you got an emergency, probably during that time frame, getting a hold of Mike might be a quicker response to that. I did use a tripod, so that helped me out as far as getting my hands free, but being able to pick up the phone and shoot live feed at the same time, I can't do that. So keep that in mind at what during the blast off, and possibly depending on what my role is at the weigh-in, Mike may be a better choice to call if you got something that needs immediate help. I'll be more than happy to still work with you any way I can. So I'm not saying don't call me, please do, but just be aware that it may be a slight delay before I can get back with you. Josh, you got any additional questions?
You're on mute.
No, I don't see anything else at this time on there. Just a reminder that's the big thing that's different from some of the other tournaments is the time in the water because of the flow of the ramp. It's getting daylight earlier, so just I guess saying that again, make sure that you're in the water by 5 o'clock. If it's safe light at 5:30 and we start blasting off, and there's going to be some of you that's going to have to sit in line there for an hour or so until we get everyone blasted off before you can put your boat in. So please get there early enough. I know it's an early morning, but we don't want to hold up blast off because we've got some in line when it's daylight and we can be fishing. And then the other thing is just not forgetting about the ramp fee. Please, when you come pick up your packets, we'll put that out several times again. Make sure that you got ramp fees for your entire team. But no other questions that I see at this time.
That'd be great. I did get one that I'll respond to individually there, but it follows in with a ramp request. Part of the reasons why we want you to pick these things up on Friday is we've got a couple districts that have not had anybody step up and take places where we've had district directors in the past. We need one in District 5. We need one in District 10. So that's a couple people down that may have been able to help you at another time, but we're down to those people. And so we run short on time. So picking your packets up on that Friday evening is a tremendous help. We just don't have the personnel to be able to hit all the ones out there, that may be coming in late. So if there's any way possible, make arrangements to get them on that Friday. I am aware that some of you drive in on Saturday morning. I get that. But if I don't care if you just get a little whatever to come by and pick them up on that Friday, that would be a huge help. If for some reason you find it easier for your team to pay in advance, you could do that prior to the tournament on Friday of the pickup time frame, but we would need to know that you've done that and already prepaid for that. So make sure your coach is aware if you're prepaying boat captains ahead of time. We want to make it just as smooth as we possibly can, but we are limited on our resources of people. So please help us out in that situation so that we can make it move just as smoothly as possible. Anybody else got anything?
They had one other question come in for about the packet pickup location and all that. So anybody that joined late or didn't see that, this Facebook video will be posted to our account. You can go back and watch and see that information. I will also go ahead and make a post tonight that will have the packet pickup location, address, and everything as a separate post on our Facebook page and Instagram page, so that everybody can see that and have all that information there. You can share that for all of your boat captains or whoever's picking up your packet as well. So we'll put that information out a few times between now and then, but the video will be posted that you can go back and watch. That was the only other question that I had, Barry, so I think we're good.
All right. Good. And the last thing, coaches, boat captain, if your coaches are not on here, please make sure that those that did not join us tonight will go and watch this video. It will be posted on our YouTube page. There'll be a link for that on our website that you can get to that. I get a lot of questions that were covered during this meeting by coaches as well as boat captains. So please encourage everybody to watch and, if not live, go back and watch it from YouTube. We try to make these brief as possible and straight to the point. So that's our goal, so we can get you that way. And so we, unless you guys have something else, we can sign off, and may God bless you.
We started this about 8 years ago, and when we started this, there was just a handful of teams. We got over 2,000 members now that fish with ASABFA. These are very expensive tournaments to put on. With sponsors like Go Build, this is what makes this possible. A tournament trail normally pays out cash prizes. We pay out scholarships, and Go Build and the companies like that is what makes that possible.
The mission of Go Build Alabama is to educate young people, parents, and others into the great careers that are available in the commercial and industrial construction industry, and then to inspire them to move forward and start their own construction career path. These are not jobs that will export out of the country. So this is a magnificent time for young people and others that might be considering career change to think about construction careers.
Back when I got into fishing pro stuff, there wasn't anything like this. So sponsoring things like this, you're really pushing those kids to do more.
At Go Build Alabama, we really are excited about this sponsorship because this gives us an opportunity to talk to students, support them in one of their extracurricular activities, and help inspire them to maybe consider a career in the construction industry.
You know exactly where you want to be. On the water with your best friend. You two out there just casting and catching. Out on the water is a great place to make memories that'll last. But we can't help it if your kid's a better fisherman. Visit Freedom Marine Center, Highway 431 in Albertville, and freedommarincenter.net.
Take it from me. When it came to my dreams, I knew that being hands-on would take me places college never could.
Take it from me. When it came to my career, I was floating from job to job, never finding my calling.
Take it from me. When it comes to what's next, joining the trades will take you further than you ever thought.
Take it from us and find your future at gobuildal.com. Be more. Go Build. Take it from me. When it came to my dreams, I knew that being hands-on would take me places college never could, and joining the trades took me further than I ever thought. Find your future at gobuildal.com. Be hands-on. Go Build.
When considering Maslow's hierarchy of needs, one must first figure the basic level of. So essentially what Maslow was saying is that from the basic level, what are we doing here?
Look at that beauty right there.
Filter in warmth. Oh!
Let's get loud for that fish right there.
begins that we'll be discussing.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.